Hey, this is Derrik Jordan. Welcome to the World Fusion Show, where we bring you the leading innovators in world fusion music. Today, my guest is Ara Dinkjian, who is an oud player, composer, and founding member of the band Night Ark, which is one of the earliest world fusion groups. And I am just so glad to have you on the show. Welcome, Ara Dinkjian, to the World Fusion Show.
Thank you, Derrik. Thank you for having me, and congratulations on all of your shows, and I'm really happy to be part of it now.
Well, hey, it's about time I found you. I mean, it's crazy because I hadn't heard of you. And like I'm supposed to be some kind of expert after doing 120 shows. I figured, hey, I knew everybody. Well, guess what? There's always something new. You learn something new every day. And I'm just thrilled to have you. You're a great addition. You're a wonderful oud player and composer. So you're of Armenian background. But you grew up in New Jersey, like me. We are both Jersey boys, and so you're very Americanized in your thing. But tell me a little bit about growing up. I know your father was a singer, and you have a lot of strong interest in your Armenian heritage.
Yeah, because of exactly my father, who's, by the way, 92. And still singing. My father is Derrik Jordan, one of the world's most renowned Armenian folk and liturgical singers. So in our home, we grew up with music, and every Saturday was a picnic or a wedding or a dance. And every Sunday was the church music. My father is a deacon, and I was the organist and continue to be for over 40 years. So Armenian liturgical music is something that's part of my life. And then my parents were involved in secular choruses that gave annual concerts. And back then you didn't use babysitters. You'd drag the kids to the rehearsals. And without knowing it, I got this fantastic education of Armenian classical and choral music just because I was sitting in the rehearsals, So that part of me, the Armenian part, is so prominent that I called my first solo CD An Armenian in America, because that's kind of the order in which I see myself. And indeed, I feel that it kind of doesn't matter where you're born if you're in touch with your historic roots. And that is not to say that I reject or ignore the fact that I'm born in America. I grew up on the Beatles, I assume very much like you, and that music completely just took me over. And I insisted the day after the Ed Sullivan appearance that my mother take me to the store so I could buy their first single. And so the idea of Western harmony is something that I've tried to add to the modal system of Armenian and Middle Eastern music. They actually don't belong together, and yet that's been my life's work, is trying to combine the two without offending either.
Good luck with that. Although I think you do succeed in doing that, and that's an admirable thing to try and do. Of course, that's all about this world fusion idea of blending different styles and concepts together. Now, I would love to go to our first video, and could you please introduce it to our audience?
Sure. It's a piece that I wrote called The Invisible Lover, and if I don't bore you, I'll just tell you quickly where the title came from. I was performing in Greece with the top singer there. Her name is Eleftheria Arvanitaki. We were working 6 nights a week for 3 months. And I kind of ran out of reading material, all the books that I had brought with me. After a month, I read them. And so I begged anybody for any book in English, and somebody gave me a book about Greek mythology. And reading one of the stories, I came across a story about a goddess who was invisible and appeared in the bedroom of this innocent young mortal guy, and literally got into bed with him, and he didn't see her, but he felt her. And I'm months from seeing my wife and kids, and I'm in this state of mind, alone in my hotel room. And that story was so powerful, an invisible lover, that this piece came to me. And it is in the tsamiko rhythm, which is very Greek rhythm, 4+2. And the mode is called Hijaz, which is very prominent in Greece and Turkey and the Arab countries and Armenia. And this was recorded actually at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in one of their galleries. And I'm playing a manol oud, an oud made by the great master oud maker from Greece, Manol. And the piece is called The Invisible Lover.
That's great. And also, I should mention, it features Glenn Velez, who has been a previous guest on the show. Let's go to the video right now. we're back with Ara Dinkjian. That very cool video. Now, you've traveled a lot to a lot of countries with your music. Tell us about some of that.
Yeah, I've traveled to about 20 or 30 different countries, bringing my music to them, and I'm always so gratified that, you know, certain countries that I might not have a cultural connection with, for example, in Scandinavia or South America, somehow, because my music is very melodic, for me, melody is the big thing. Somehow, it turns out that it's reaching people, and they can get beyond the odd time signatures or the microtonal modes and get to the melody, and we can connect.
It's great. It's really great. Now, also, I can see here, in your house, you have a very large record collection behind you. And you said it's one of the largest, you think, in the world of Armenian records.
Yeah, it's my drug of choice. I collect specifically Armenian and Turkish 78s, the old 100-year-old records. And I have between 5,000 and 6,000 of them, and they are the earliest sonic evidence of my ancestors and what the music sounded like. Now, of course, you cannot recreate that, and you shouldn't try, but at least I know what I'm standing on as I try to move it forward.
All right. Well, let's go. We're going to go to our next video. Quickly, can you introduce what we're going to hear?
Sure. This is a medley of two pieces that I wrote called Anatolia and Homecoming. It was performed live at Princeton University, and I'm accompanied by the great New York band called the New York Gypsy All-Stars.
It's really wonderful. Let's go to the video right now. we are back with Ara Dinkjian, and you've made a bunch of CDs. I think, right, like 8 CDs or so of your original music.
Right, right. And actually, they can all be found on my website, aradinkjian.com. There's a bunch of information and all the CDs and little clips and things like that.
That's great. Of course, we'll post that at the end of the episode. And now we're going to go to our next video, which is a different grouping, an outdoor live thing with a trio. Can you introduce this for us, please?
Sure. This is my main group that I perform with now. It's called the Secret Trio with Tamer Pınarbaşı on kanun, which is a lap harp, and Ismail Lumanovsky on clarinet. We recorded this in front of Grant's tomb in Manhattan. It's a piece that I wrote called Silent Q.
It's really beautiful, and it's a great combination of instruments. I love the kanun, and the clarinet player is wonderful as well. Anyway, let's go to the video right now. Thank you. Hey, we are back. Now, you're really an interesting musician to me in that you're really trying to bring together some different styles, but you also, I'd like to know a little about your philosophy and your purpose, what you feel you're doing with your music.
Thank you, Derrik. Really, in the same way that we're combining East and West, my general philosophy about music and life, for that matter, is in much broader terms, trying to find that common element in all of humanity. We know our differences. Indeed, we go to war over our differences. But as a musician, it provides us a place to meet. And indeed, I have members in, for example, the Secret Trio. Armenians and Turks historically don't get along. Well, when you're a musician, you get along, and it's almost like a blueprint for how the rest of the world might be able to do it. We coexist peacefully through music, and that's really why I'm so proud to be a musician. Whereas, in some cultures, even to the present day, to be a musician is a very embarrassing, low-class, shameful thing. That's true.
No kidding.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm very proud because we unite, we hold hands, we to use that corny phrase, we build bridges, and I'm proud of it.
Well, you're certainly doing that. And that's what we always try to do here on the World Fusion Show as well, by bringing all these people together in so many interesting ways, some quite unexpected. Now, we're going to go to our final video. Please tell us a little bit about this.
Well, the Secret Trio was playing a concert at part of the Ground Up Festival in Miami. That's Michael League's festival. And one of the artists there, the great singer-songwriter Becca Stevens, was at that concert and just loved us and asked us to make her next CD. And indeed we did. And this is a collaboration with the great singer-songwriter Becca Stevens. It's a piece called California.
It's really cool. All right, let's go to the video right now.
Too few folks know how fun it is to believe in invisible stuff like this. I'ma drink wine till I can see the great beyond in the room with me. California, California, California. Happy all the time. Burn that bridge and bet that farm. There's a risk of loss when one wants this hard. To drift among the untied knots and get your passport stamped where your heroes got caught. California, California, California. Happy all the time. Oh, to wake and find the webbing's gone and a circular structure in one song, playing harmony to both the earth and air, and bobbing the heads of the unaware, bobbing the heads of the unaware. California, California,
are back with Ara Dinkjian. Very cool video. And Ara, I just wanted to thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been great to have you and to feature your music.
Derrik, it's people like you who, it's always like the 5% of the people who do the work for the 95%. So I want to thank you for having this show and spending the time and reaching out to all the musicians. And if I may, I would just like to ask the viewers that, we've learned something from this pandemic, which is that just having a cup of coffee with a friend suddenly is something that we appreciate now. And indeed, when this pandemic is over and we're able to go out and support live music, I think we really should. I think we as human beings need to be physically together. This technology of Zoom is precious to us. It kept us going. But as soon as we can, we should go out there and support the arts, live music, and respect and love each other. And that's all I have to say about that.
That's great. And it's beautifully said. And I couldn't agree more with you. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks again, Derrik.
Hey, this is Derrik Jordan. Thank you so much for joining us today. Again, on the World Fusion Show. It's been great to have you. We have lots more great shows coming up. So please tell your friends and spread this music all over the planet. Okay, thank you. And I just want to thank our wonderful sponsors, Mackenzie Family Charitable Trust, Chris Pratt, Ron Dance, and Nancy Feinberg, for your generous support. And as we always like to say on the show, remember, think globally, listen locally, and support independent music.